Hello everyone, welcome back to Game Tonight. Today is episode 11 of our YouTube platform series, and today we're going to work on the Canon. Now, before we begin working on the Canon, I want to make a change to our enemy, and that is just introducing health. Now, this is just going to be the exact same health system as the player. So, yeah, that's nice and easy. I'm not going to explain it because we've done it before. So we'll just set the health to the max health in the ready function. And down here above the die function, we're just going to make a function take damage like so, and the damage amount. And we'll just say the health minus equals the damage amount. And then we're just going to say if the health is less than or equal to 0, then the enemy should die, like so. Cool. And then the player will go into the attack function, and we'll change this dot die at the end to take damage like so. And there we go. Just number 1. So enemy takes 1 damage, and that's that done. Now let's get started on our cannon. Before we make the cannon, we have to make the Canon Ball. So I'll make the Canon Ball before anything. So just go Canon Ball like so. Give it a sprite 2D. We'll just zoom in. We'll drag in the Canon Ball right over there, and we'll give it a area 2D. So area 2D like so. And we'll turn off monitor ball. We don't want things that are Canon Balls there. And we will give it a collision shape, which make it a nice circle. Just adjust it, and you can see the position is wrong. So what we're going to do is hit this little move button over here, go on the 3 dots over here and turn off pixel snap. And then we can move these exactly where it needs to be. And we'll turn back on pixel snap, and we'll go onto the mouse like so. Cool, that's that done. And now we just need a animation player. And this is for the ball dying. You don't need the animation. It's just to make it a little bit more smoother if the ball dies. I think it's a little sudden, like abrupt, if the ball just disappears instantly. So I'll just give it a little fadeaway animation. So I'll just go hit like so. I'm going to make it 0.3 seconds long. And I'm going to add a track for the sprite 2D. I'm going to type in modulate. So this is for the colors. And here I'll just right click, insert key, and insert key again. And I'll click on the last one. I'm going to turn on transparency to 0. So now I've hit play. You can see it fades away nicely. And I'm going to add another track. Sorry, I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to call method over here, Canon Ball. And at the very end, I'm going to right click, insert key, and I'm going to call Q free. So this will just be, we destroy the ball at the end of animation, so we don't have to do it with our scripts. And yeah, that's that done. Our Canon Ball's done. We just have to do scripting now. So we'll click add script, go up, and we'll go into scripts, interactable. And then here we will make a Canon Ball script. Cool. And we also need to save this Canon Ball. I completely forgot about that. So we'll hit Control S, save it into scenes, interactable, and Canon Ball like so. Cool. Let's go into the script. We have to do a few things in here. We need a var direction, so this is the direction the ball goes. And we need a var speed, which will be equal to 200. Personally, I like 200. It's nice and fast. And then we need a var for the lifetime, so how long the ball stays alive, which I'm just going to say 2 seconds long by default. Cool. And then also need a var hit, which should be false by default. So this is just if hits the player. And yeah, nice. So in the ready function, so function ready like so, we're going to do await. So we're just going to make a timer. We've done a few times. So we get the root. Oh, no, sorry, get tree like so. And we will say dot create timer like so. And we're going to say the lifetime. So 2 seconds, that's how long the ball will stay alive. And then we will do die, which we haven't made just yet. So we'll just go and we'll make the die function right now. So die like so. And this will just set the hit to true. This will also set the speed to 0, so it won't move anymore. And this will also play our animation. So animation player, so $ animation player dot play, and we'll play the hit animation. Cool. So that's that done. So after 2 seconds, the ball will destroy itself. And now we need to actually make the ball destroy the player. Well, damage the player, sorry. So click onto our area 2D, click onto node and area entered, and connect it to the Canon Ball. There you go. Nice, easy. And in here, we're just going to go delete that. We'll go into our spikes. We will copy our thing on spikes. We've done this so many times. And we'll just Control V to get it into there. And in here, we'll say, and it has not hit, so it can't hit the player twice. And we will also say die at the very end. Cool. So that is our Canon Ball finished. And now let's get into the next part, which will be the Canon Debris. So this is to be the little bit of the cannon that stays over if you destroy the cannon. So I'm going to call this Canon Debris. I'm going to save it into our interactable folder. And then here, this is a very easy one. We just need a sprite and we just need an animation player. So nice and easy and fast. We'll zoom in, click on sprite 2D, and we'll drag in our Canon Destroy first frame over here. And with our sprite animation player, we'll make a animation, which is going to call it crumble. Going to add track, sprite 2D, and the texture. We're also going to make the 0.3 seconds long. And then we're just going to right click our keys, make our little animation. So in here, we just drag in the PNG, which do this for all of the files. So we have our full animation. But there is one slight problem with this asset pack, and that is that these animations aren't really properly positioned. So if you hit play here, you'll see the debris, the little piece of wood at the end is just in the middle of the air. So we'll just have to move it down slightly. Luckily, that's very easy to do. So we just do property track, sprite 2D, and we'll just type in position. There we go. And at start, we'll add a key. So it's 0, 0. So we're always at the right position at start. And at the very end, we'll add another key. And we'll make it 6 on the y-axis. So now if you hit play, you can see it moves down and it's at the right position. Cool. Now make sure you hit this button over here to reset it. Otherwise, if you hit play on your game or something, it's just going to spawn them at this one over here. It remembers the last point you were at in animation in the editor. So just make sure you hit this, hit Control S, and close your animation tab. And that is your debris finished. Cool. Now to make the actual cannon, our last part for this big puzzle. We're going to make a cannon. We're going to change the type to a static body 2D. So just right click and click change type. We're going to save it into our interactable folder. And we will need a few things in here. So we're going to need a sprite 2D, of course, to show the cannon. So we'll go down and we'll scroll down to our cannon idle over here. Cool. And then we'll need a collision shape, like so. And you don't need to do this static body thing and this collision shape over here. This is just to actually jump on the cannon and do stuff like that. But if you want your player to just run through the cannon, you can do that. But personally, I just like being able to jump on the cannon and having the cannon block the player and stuff like that. So we'll give it a rectangle shape like so. Just do it like that, like that. You can make yours whatever shape you want. I'm just going to use this. I like how this feels. And then I'll add a area 2D, which will have monitoring turned off because it doesn't have to know the player's in range. And then we'll give it a collision shape like so. And we'll give it a big rectangle. And this is just a hitbox for the cannon for the player to hit him. So I'll make it nice and big so the player can easily hit the cannon. Cool. Nice. And now we'll add a marker 2D. We haven't used this node yet. It is just basically just a position. So we're going to use it for that cause because we're only going to use it for a position point for the balls to spawn at, so the cannonballs to shoot from. So the reason for that is just because it's more accurate to what we're doing. It's easier to understand. If you look in your children over here, you can see this little marker. You're like, okay, that's the fire point from which the cannonball should come from. You don't have to do that. You can just do a node 2D, and then we're just going to rename it to fire point like so. Now we'll position it in a second. We need to make the animation first. So give it a animation player, like so. We'll make a animation called fire. Now we'll make a animation called hit. Cool. And we'll make the hit animation 0.2 seconds long and the fire animation 0.5 seconds long. Now these animations I'm just going to do quickly and get back to you guys, but I'll just show the start of making it, just so you guys know what we're doing. We just got property track, sprite 2D, and we're just going to change the textures to these animations we have over here. So yeah, we've done that a million times, but again, this is just what we're doing, just this little process over here till I have them all done, and I'll get back to you guys once I've done the hit animation and the fire animation. And there we go, so I've done my animations. If I play here, that's the take damage animation. If we go into my fire animation, this one is finished as well. So now we can set the fire point to the right position. You're going to find a point in this animation from where you want the cannonball to spawn from. I want mine to spawn from this animation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fire point, I'm going to move it to the exact point I want the ball to come from, which will be right over there. So I'll shoot from that little point in the cannon, and yeah, that's that done. And there we go. So that's that. Very nice. And now we can get into scripting. So we'll click on the script button. We'll make the script in the right folder. So scripts interactable in here. Canon like so. Cool. Create it. And we'll need quite a few things in here. So we need a reference to our debris and our Canon Ball. So we'll do var Canon Ball like so equals load like so. Sorry, I typed that wrong. Load like so. And you can just type in Canon Ball like this, and there it is. There's your scene. But if that's a little scary or it doesn't come up or you gave yours a different name, just scroll down and then here find your Canon Ball. So right over here, drag it in like so, and there you go. So the load just loads the scene because it's a packed scene. And then here you can do var debris like so. yeah, that works. And then we'll just load it again. The exact, I keep making that typo. Exact same thing. So load the debris in like so. And there you go. Nice. So there is our debris. Cool. And then we'll need a few things in here. We'll need a var for shooting. Sorry, a export var for shooting, which is a boolean. We'll need a var for the fire rate. So like so. And we'll say every 2 seconds. It shoots every 2 seconds. Sorry. Cool. And then we'll need a reference to the animation player and the fire point because we'll be using them multiple times. So onReady var animation player equals $ animation player, and onReady var fire point equals $ fire point. Now you don't have to do this. It is just to make your code a little cleaner, look nicer. And yeah, we'll also need a var for the max health of the Canon, which I want to make mine 3, nice and healthy. And the health, of course, is the same as always. And then function ready, we're going to set the health to the max health, and we're going to set shooting to true. And then here we're going to call the shoot function. Cool. Now we haven't made the shoot function yet, but we're going to make that right now. So we'll have the function shoot like so, which while shooting, so it'll just continuously shoot, we're going to create this Canon Ball. So we'll say var spawned ball, like so, equals Canon Ball dot instantiate. So this will call create a instance of the Canon Ball. That's all that is, and we have a reference to it, like so. Cool. And there's one thing different about Godot than Unity is in Unity, if you instantiate something, it'll just create it as a child in the scene. But in Godot, it doesn't actually do that. So you have to manually set it as a child in the scene. So we're just going to set it as a child of our Canon. So all we can do to make that nice and easy is add child spawned ball. Cool. So that'll just make the spawn ball in here like these, like the sprite 2D and stuff. I'll just create the spawn ball over there. And yeah, that's all that is. Nice and easy. And then what we're going to do is the spawn ball dot direction equals our fire point dot scale dot x. So the direction the fire point is facing, which right now it's the wrong direction. So we'll click on our fire point. We'll go into transform. Make sure this little scale part, this link over here, is unlinked. And we'll make it -1 on the x-axis, so it'll face left. So all we're doing is telling the Canon Ball that its direction is -1. And on the Canon, we're going to go down, and then the spawn ball dot position, dot global position. I'm not 100% sure which position is right at this point. It's a little throws me off a little bit, but we'll just do that. Hopefully that's the right way. If it's not, I'll fix it. And we have to do one last thing on our Canon Ball, and that's actually move the ball. I completely forgot to do that. So we'll go function, physics process like so. And we're just going to do position.x plus equals ABS speed times delta times direction. So this just if the direction is -1, the ball will move left. If the direction is 1, it'll move right. Cool. So that's that done. This is everything finished right over here. And actually, this is wrong. This just hit Control X. Don't delete it. Just hit Control X or Control C and backspace. And this will be our $ animation player dot play fire. So sorry about that. I made a little mistake. And then we're going to create the timer. So await get tree dot create timer, and we will say the fire rate. So every 2 seconds it will shoot. And what we have to do is make a fire function right over here, like so, and hit Control V. And just make sure these are positioned correctly, like so. And yeah, very sorry about that. I actually make that mistake a lot. But yeah, there we go. That's how it's meant to look. So make sure your code looks exactly like this. And now you can see we have to actually do these references in the animation player, because our animation player has to actually call the shoot function to fire things. So any fire animation over here, we're going to add a track, the call method of the Canon. And right here at the point where we shoot, which is this point right over here, we will right click, insert key, and we will call the fire function like so. So at this exact point of the animation, we're going to call this function over here, which will just create the ball and launch it in whichever direction it's meant to go. So that's that, nice and easy and done. And in our hit animation, we need to add a property track for our Canon, and that is the shooting boolean we made. So make sure you made that a export var. And in here, we'll set at the start and at the end. At the start, it should be false, so the cannon can't shoot while it's being hit. And at the very end, we should set it back to true. So this just means the cannon won't just try shoot when it's in its hit animation, because that would look a little bit weird. And if we go into our script, that is essentially everything done, I think. I'm probably missing a few things, but we will see as we go. So we need a function for take damage. And in here, we will just say the health minus equals the damage amount, which I didn't make. So let me quickly make that damage amount. There we go. And then we will say the animation player. Oh, sorry, I made a reference, so we don't need to do the $sign. So take your animation player, replace this $sign of it. There we go. There. And dot play. And we'll play the hit animation because it took damage. Cool. And then if the health is less than or equal to 0, then we should die, which we haven't made just yet. So we'll make that right now. So function die like so. And this is where we're going to do a few more things, and that is we're going to spawn the debris. So var spawned debris equals debris dot instantiate. So exact same thing as the Canon Ball, but we're going to make one small change in a minute. And we're going to do the debris, spawn debris dot position, dot global position equals our position. And the spawn debris dot get child 1 dot play crumble. So get child 1 is just we're referencing the animation play over here. This is our child 1. So we're going to play this animation, and yeah, nice and easy. And now we need to actually add this to the scene, but what's the problem here? The problem is we're going to destroy our cannons. We can't add it as a child of our cannon. So what do we do instead? Well, we can just add the debris as a child of our level 1. Now I'm going to help you guys get the reference to that real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to get tree dot get root. Our root is just the current scene we're in, essentially. And then we're going to say get child. And you'd expect it to be 0 because it's level 1, but it actually isn't. It's 1 because of our autoload script. So if you do 0, it'll actually reference our autoload script, the game manager script, and that is incorrect. So we'll add child, and we will add the spawned debris. So what that is it's just telling the level 1 to add this as a child. So it's just giving it the spawn debris. And then we're going to say Q free. There we go. Nice. I think that is our cannon finished. Oh, we have to make one last change. Sorry. We'll go into the cannon, we'll go into node groups, and we'll add it to the enemies group so we can actually damage it. Cool. Now again, I think that's everything done. I hope it is. Hope I didn't miss something. So let's drag this cannon into the scene and let's try him out. You can see it's on the wrong frame of the animation, so we'll just go into our cannon animation and we will change the fire animation to the very end like so. And there we go. Nice. Now if you hit play, please don't get an error. Please don't crash. I hope it just works. Just go up, kill our enemies. I took 2 damage there, so 1 hit will kill me. And there you see, we see the cannonballs flying in. Oh, maybe we can stand on the cannon and we can hit it. And there we go. So everything works. Nice. Beautiful. And we can't hit it. It's gone. This is a completely different object. And there are no errors in our output. So let's make sure the cannon can shoot the different direction as well. So click on our cannon, click on move, and we'll hit Control D. Now we can move it over here. And let's just make it shoot to the other direction. So we'll go into our cannon over here, inspector. And if you're going to flip the cannon, make sure you do it on the scale.x. Do not change the rotation. And of course, make sure this is unlinked. And now let's hit play and make sure it works. Yep, okay, it can shoot both directions. And now there's one small issue that I forgot to address, and that is that the debris does not face the right way. So let's make sure that works accordingly. So we'll go into our cannon and the debris over here, very easy. We're just going to do spawn debris dot scale.x equals scale.x. So that'll just make it so the spawn debris faces the right direction when the cannon dies. And that is that done. So sorry for all the little mistakes I made here and there in the video. I've recorded this video quite a few times now. Again, on the new laptop, my OBS has had quite a few issues here and there, which I've been trying to sort out, but it's just been an absolute pain. So yeah, I'm trying to address it all, trying to fix it all up. But yeah, so there's the cannon working. And next video, we'll introduce some health bars. We'll give the enemies a hit animation and immunity frames as well, so the player can't hit them multiple times. And we'll also give the Canon some immunity frames. And I don't think we'll give the Canon a health bar because that might just look a little bit weird. But we also don't have to give the enemies health bars. So the next video is very optional. I probably won't keep the health bars myself, but they'll just be there for people who want health bars on their enemy if they're trying to make a more Metroidvania styled platformer. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this Canon is useful to you guys. I think we're pretty much at the point of having a full-on platformer. So maybe the video after the health bar one, we'll do the level selection and, well, not level selection, sorry, just like a retry screen and stuff like that. And we'll also give a win condition so the player can actually get to the end. And the score will just be, we'll introduce score as well. So each enemy can maybe give the player 100 score if he kills them. Cannon could give 250 score if he kills them. And each coin could just count as 10 score. So the player can just have a nice little score system and see how well he does. And we can also put a time timer in the game so the player can basically speed run against himself and see how well he does. But again, as always, thank you guys for all the support. We actually got 10 subscribers overnight, which is crazy. We also hit 1,000 views on our first video, which is the first episode of the series. And we also have been getting a lot of interaction in Discord lately and a lot of comments again, as always. And yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you for all the support. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.